Show you is one thing a lot of you already asked, reaction shots. Can I take a shot with no audio and do it? So let's go to the very beginning again. Let's go to the very beginning. This one's easy because most of you were already asking to do this, and some of you have already done it. I've seen your timelines. Okay. Take your audio designators here. Unplug A1. Who's ever listening to music too loud? Tap. Hopefully your neighbor is listening, and tap them on the shoulder and say like, "Hey, your music's really loud. Mr. G's talking about you right now." All right. Thank you. All right. So here we go. So yes, long and crazy. So let's get a reaction shot in here. So I've unplugged A1. I almost forgot the big thing. Find your sequence. Before we do anything else, find your sequence. And your sequence should be called here rough cut. Or if you go to list view, it will be green instead of blue. Duplicate your scene. Duplicate that sequence. Duplicate it. And this one says rough cut copy. I want you to rename it. You're going to click on it. And this one call visual edit. Viz or VIZ or visual, right? Or whatever it is. But Mr. G, what was our other rough cut? Our other rough cut was the audio edit. And do this. I said do this. Because I am going to actually check to see that you've made new sequences. This is going to be, I'm actually going to have you screenshot your files. And I'm going to look, did you do the edits like I was suggesting you to? Right? All right, so now we got a visual edit. Make sure you double click on the visual edit and make sure you're on the visual edit tab. If you want to be super safe, you could close your rough cut. Right? So once again, right click on the sequence, hit duplicate. To change your name, you're going to hit audio or visual. And just one's going to be audio, one's going to be visual. There should be no difference between the two right now. And then make sure you've double clicked on visual so that's the one that's open here. Okay. Let's break up this 20 seconds. So, there you go. Always is with them. This. That's a great spot for a cut. Find this spot right here. We're going to cut right on that thump. Let's have some fun with that. Boom. So, using my left and right arrows, I'm getting right to that. You annoyed yet? Aren't you glad you turned off your headphones? Okay. Find right where that place is. And what I'm going to do is, she's not speaking, but I'm going to find that spot, that medium shot of her. Let's go back to my thumbnails. That medium shot of her. And right where, there, right here. Boom. Right? Right there. Boom. Right there. Boom. And I'm going to put I. So I'm trying to do what's called a match cut here. A match cut for a reaction shot. I've unplugged A1. I'm going to pull up V1 so that it's on the top. And let's see, how much of a reaction shot do I want? Usually she's like, oh, that's a lot of stuff. I'm going to fumble over it for a little bit. So she kind of starts fumbling with it like that. So I'm going to get it somewhere to here. And this one I'm going to probably need to adjust. So I'm going to hit O for out. So I found this mid shot. And again, once you kind of play along with me, if you're like, I don't like this shot for a reaction, I want to use this shot for a reaction instead, that's fine. Right? I'm just showing you one spot. You can make your own choice. And because I already have my thing here, I could put I on my sequence. Oops, I missed it. Let's see.
This.
Right there. Right there. And then I could also, I have my designator up. I could put an endpoint, I could press period, or I could drag it into overwrite, or I can just drag it in manual X so. So now I'm seeing her gather all the files while he's blabbing on. And now I've broken up that 20-second wide shot into a 5-second wide shot, about a 7-second medium, and then back to the wide shot. Let's see how that looks. Clear in and out.
This is the evidence.
Oh, my video track's hidden. Haha, sorry. There you go. If you're hiding your video track, turn your video track on. Let's do it again.
This is the evidence, the motions, and other detritus of justice that they have filed over the years, chronicling a litany of petty complaints that have made their way into my courtroom.
And that's actually, I got pretty lucky on the recovery there too. She's in a slightly different spot, but it's close enough we don't care, right? She's a little taller there. It's fine. It's close enough. You could mess with where exactly it cuts off by just dragging the edges to make sure it relatively matches up. The other thing is you actually don't see the papers fall. One more time. I'm going to turn it down so that...
This.
Right? So I might actually want to... I probably cut a little too soon, right? I want to see those papers fall, but that makes that noise. So, right there. Let's see if I just move it back a little bit. Now, is that going to mess up my timing, though? It's a little bit more to the left. So this is the nitty-gritty part that I really like about editing. You really kind of, a few frames to the left or right, and that really makes all the difference.
This.
Nope, too far to the right. To the left, I mean. Go back.
Is the evidence.
That's pretty good. I'll leave it there.
Is the evidence.
One more. Yeah, yeah, right? Yeah, okay.
Emotions and other justice that they have filed over the years.
You're gonna memorize this script. I could cut back to her right now, or I can do what's called a hanging edit. So you saw that in the discussion earlier. You've seen it on my little agenda here. What's the hanging edit, Mr. G? Let's do a hanging edit now. So he talks again. So I have wide, medium on her, wide, and then I got another, back to that same medium shot. But she's fumbling. It's supposed to be a comedy. This should be kind of funny. She's fumbling with it. I'm tired of this wide shot again already. All right. So maybe I want to cut to this a little sooner. Okay, so this is what we call a hanging edit. So everyone do this. So go to that first little cut right here. I want you to select two. Go back to V. I want you to select these two shots. The wide shot and then the close-up or the mid shot that you chose of her. Okay? And this is why I put Omar and Tracy up there, to demonstrate how your head is really turning or looking at something other than the conversation that's happening, right? So he's still blah, 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 but we want to look at her again. She's the main character of the show. She's doing something slightly comedic, so let's go check it out. So I've selected these two clips. This is the danger. So when you do this, you should have a little flag go off on your head. Danger, danger. We're in dangerous territory right here. You're going to right-click, and you're going to choose Unlink. And what I've just done, Neil, what I've just done is I've separated the video and the audio will no longer move together once I hit Unlink. Why is that dangerous? Well, I can move, I can move my video out of phase, so then all of a sudden it looks like a, let me go back, undo, undo, undo. It'll look like it's kind of a bad lip sync job or a kung fu movie, right? So, but we want to get those out of phase so we can do another trick. So once again, select both clips, right click, choose Unlink. Carson, if you find a hotkey for that, let me know. I would love a hotkey for Unlink. I think we can make one, but I don't think there's a default one. All right, now I'm going to zoom in on that spot. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And then let me hide my audition. Get down so you don't see it. Go one more down. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. There, now you're invisible. Okay. All right, so now when I click on the clips, notice usually when I click on a clip, it selects the audio with it. But now it has the video highlighted and the audio is not. And that's what we want. And what we want to do is we want to look at her while he's still blabbing. But I can't put a reaction shot in right here because it does kind of cut into her actually talking, right? So what I want to do is I want to move this over. I can do this one of two ways. I can actually do it with my arrow tool. I'm going to slide this guy over, and then I can slide that one to look like that. Or the quicker way, and I like this way, is called the ripple edit. And it looks like that. And you press the letter, I think it's E? B. You press the letter B for the ripple edit tool. And what that does is, or is it the roll tool? Sorry, haven't done this in a year. If I right click, and click and hold. Is it the roll tool? Yeah, it's the rolling tool. My bad, sorry. They look like that. So the roll tool, was it E? Was I right? Let's see. It's N. So the roll tool lets you do basically 2 moves in one. So I don't have to, if I go back to my arrow and I'm fine tuning it, I would have to like go here and then move that out. And then if I want, no, I want it more like here and then go move that out. So by pressing N, or if you left click and hold, you have these several options here. So you want to go to the rolling edit tool and you can exchange exactly where that cut is. Okay? So that way I can kind of see, and it shows me the clip, you know how it turns into 2 boxes? The clip on the right is obviously going to be the close-up clip, and the clip on the left is the last frame that I'm going to be using. So where's that funny point? So she's picking them up, trying to find a little there. See how they're unmatched? I want to try and find that right. I'm going to go right there. See how that looks. It's a little different take, but I'm going to live with it. All right. So that way I'm not looking at that wide shot for much longer, right? For way less time. This is called a hanging edit, okay? Because the video is hanging over the audio of another tape, okay? Next set, you have to select both of them and get them linked again, right? Go ahead and link them. Oops. What if I have to, if I go here and here. You might have to do it one at a time. Actually, I might want this one unlinked still to show you the next part. 1, 2, right click, and link. And that audio is now back in phase with that one. This is also called an L cut. Because if you're looking here, this cut kind of reflects the shape of an L. If we do the opposite, it's called a J cut. Okay? And a J cut is basically just the opposite direction. So I'm going to find a place where I can do a J cut, and I think it's right here. No, I want to find a place where she goes, no, you can't. There you go. There you go. And that's also where it says can. Yes, a can, right? All right. So again, I'm just going to repeat that same exact step. Okay, so if you missed it the first time, I'm doing it again. If you don't want to do it here, but this one, because what happens is, I know this take, he looks shocked the second she goes, no, right? Chiefy, what are you watching? What is that video? Who's watching a flashy, crazy video? Someone is over there. I see the reflection. I have eyes everywhere. All right. So once again, I'm going to unlink, select both of those, right click, unlink. The second you unlink something, you should just have this danger warning. Danger, danger. You're operating in out of phase moment, right? Just keep in mind, you can easily get something out of phase and it'll look weird. All right. I want to take this visual take and hang it over where she says, no, you can't. So again, I'm going to go to my roll tool or press N, and I'm going to drag it over to my right, and I'm looking right there. He looks shocked. You see how he kind of looks up and goes, huh? You say no to me? I'm a judge. How dare you? He's doing all that with his face, right? So her saying, no, you can't, not the best look, but him going, oh, I'm shocked. How dare you speak to me, right? And let's see, no, you can't. So he looks up. Somewhere in the middle of a little tirade, I'm going to cut back to her. I'm going to play it by ear. The other mistake I have here, right, is he says can. I have the Yes, I can. So I got to take, I'm going to go back to my arrow, and I'm just going to get rid of this right there. Let's see. Right? And maybe I might want to take the audio from this take where she goes, no. Let's see. Right? It's different. I don't like that no. Right? So, oops, sorry. Yes, I can. And then she says, no. Like, did you guys hear the difference? That the one from this take, she's like, no. And this one, she's like, no. Right? So these are these little subtle differences that you're looking for. No, there you go. Oh, and then he looks up. There. 90% of your dialogue cuts should be hanging edits. Let me say that again. You're going to want to go through and maybe unlink everything temporarily. And you're going to want to give, most of your cuts should not be a direct cut. Should not be a ping pong. Most of your cuts should hang one way or the other. Even if it's by a few frames. But just like when Tracy and Omar were talking up here, you were rarely turning your head at the same exact time one of the people were talking. Sometimes you were, which is why I'm saying 90%, right? But a lot of it should be hanging. Right? The other thing is, anytime you're looking at something over 10 seconds, definitely over 10 seconds, you want to break it up with a reaction shot. So she's talking a lot right here. She's talking a lot right there. But I'll go right here. So she's... Try to have, let's say, 3 reaction shots. So here, where she says, judge... Okay. Now here's the fun part about a reaction shot. I don't have to get his reaction to that moment in time. So let me find that here for this close-up. I'm sorry. Judge the... Oh. Sorry, right here. That's a stupid reaction. Right? He's not doing any sort of facial bit. So what I could do is find a different take, or maybe from this same spot. So he looks up, he glances, right? I'm just trying to find any little spot where he's kind of nodding, or he kind of, right there. So this is from a completely different part of the text, of the dialogue, but he's kind of like, yeah, whatever, right? So I'm gonna hit I. He's kind of just nodding, yeah, okay, I agree with you there. I'm going to hit O, and that's the piece I'm going to use. So you're not limited to his reaction to that line. You can pick and choose reaction shots from wherever. You guys know Martin Scorsese? No. Martin Scorsese, Goodfellas? You guys seen Goodfellas? What's his most recent ones? He's done a lot. Martin Scorsese, very few of you guys know Robert De Niro, right? Right? Real quick. Martin Scorsese was famous for this. He hits roll. He doesn't hit record. It's a film camera. He gets the camera rolling, right? And he's like, and everyone's kind of, he's like, okay, Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro would be like, he hasn't said action yet. Robert De Niro's trying to get in character, right? And so for like 30 seconds, he's recording Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro doesn't know he's being filmed. It's kind of like, doing his little acting thing. Then he says action. That 30 seconds he used for all these other reaction shots in the dialogue scene. And Robert De Niro, unbeknownst to Robert De Niro. Martin Scorsese is very famous for that. He's like trying to record you unknowingly, and then throwing those shots as the reaction shots. There's little clever things like that as a director you can do. So, here's what I want you to do. Give yourself, I'd say go for at least 10 hanging edits. 10 hanging edits. So that's where you unlink the audio, and you pull it one way or the other. So they're called J and L cuts. Let me bring that back. And then try to get 3 or 4 reaction shots. So 3 or 4 reaction shots. And that's where you're taking a video clip and putting it on top of the person speaking. So they're called J and L cuts. Boom, boom. And we're going to link them.